1,001, 1,002, 1,003, go. 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, go. Alright, last one. 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, go.
Squat, swirl. All right.
Yeah, that was even better.
Great job there. Not too bad, right?
Yeah, those three, if I could do that, I'd be happy.
So do the, so let's make sure we got the, so really it's the, what, lower center of gravity, right, or belly button, belt buckle?
It's pulling out. It's swirling that hip, pulling
That's
that
right.
butt cheek to the front.
Yep.
Where instead of, I don't know,
You're
swaying
going
back.
sideways, and then your counterbalance was here. And then, like I said, you got to be so fast to be able to get this out of the way and drop the arms in.
So, I mean, really, this needs to be, the hips need to be at a 45-degree angle.
And feeling like you're like this. Like you kind of swirled the tailbone.
With the weight weighted on the front foot.
Yeah, and your upper body will settle in behind the hips to counterbalance, opposite of what normally, right? So this would be just like this. Or just my right leg, my hips just swirl over towards my left foot.
Yeah, I think before when I was really trying to weight that front foot, I started to get like this.
Yes. Yeah, you have no recovery from that move. You're going to swirl and slide. Okay. See that? Look a little front loaded again with your upper body. In other words, stay right there. Look like you got a little lean on the upper body there. I don't know if you were trying to do that.
Okay.
But when you swirl, I look at my shadow over there, my head wants to go, if my tailbone goes this way, the counterbalance so I don't fall over is going to be my head would just, upper body would just settle to the right of my hip. My hips went that way, I wind up, and I look like my upper body's over my right leg a little bit. So just like we saw.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So upper body's over the right leg.
That's right, but you got to swirl the hips to the front and the upper body. Hey, even when you do that little wiggle, Dean, you know how you kind of get yourself your setup ticks like we had, like that. That's good because you go like this every time. You go like this. I see it every time you go like this, like that.
Yeah, my right side bend.
Okay.
My K right side bend.
Okay, so when you do that, your hips go this way and your head goes that way. What we want.
Okay.
So you're already doing it every time before you hit a golf ball, right? But you're using it as a K position. But really, and what actually is happening too is your tailbone's going over that way and your head's settling this way. So you go, oh, I'm gonna. That's the feel, right? Or that's the mechanics of like swirling. And you get in there and you just kind of go like this. Because the same thing happened, right? Where you saw my head kind of settle that way, getting the right side bend.
Okay.
Okay. So I just pointed it out that you're kind of doing it in your little waggle action pre-shot stuff. That's good. There you go. Yep, swirl. Yeah, that was good.
Way left for some reason.
I'm going to come behind you and swirl you a little bit. Okay, you do your right side. There you go. So settle again and do the right side bend again. Kind of. Okay, there you go. Now a little waggle, back, swing. Okay, again, back to the ball or area, and then again. So I'm pulling this way and shoving this way. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
There's your little two-prong move. And just do it
okay,
very
so I've been
syrupy.
doing the hip, but I haven't done the shoulder, but I want to be pulling that shoulder back.
Yeah, you want the upper body to go to the right of the hips, right?
To the right of the hip.
Yeah, this way.
To the right of this hip.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There you go. So now all this whole lats and stuff is behind the ball kind of deal. That's the swirl there, right?
Okay, well I've been thinking about the lower body, but not the upper body.
Okay. That's what I said before. It's like looked like you were there on a couple and then we got messed up again. So you swirl and the counterbalance of me going this way, I'd have to tilt this way, otherwise I'm going to fall to you. So the upper body, left shoulder to the right of the left hip. Right?
Okay.
Let's see what that lower center of gravity's sliding and spin. Yeah, there you go. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That was a good little shot. Caught a little behind it.
Yeah.
You're thinking a lot right now, but thinking the right things. Yep. Yeah. I'm okay. There you go.
Yeah, okay. I can work on that.
Feel that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was the interesting thing is like when you got in there every time, you do that. You kind of settle the right side bend, and what you don't recognize is what's going on with this stuff. Where's it going? You know? It settles over to the target more. And then the right settles behind the ball more. And you go, okay. So when you wind up, you're just trying to swirl the hips over there, let the upper body float over behind the ball more. Yeah. Good. One more time. Wind up. And back. Again.
Is the head moving?
Yeah, the head should. It's attached to the upper.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That time the right knee and stuff got a little bowy again out here. You know, you didn't quite get the tailbone like this. So when I do this, the hips, now my leg looks tilted, right? Like I showed you when you were the A. Yeah. So the more that leg is straightened at an angle, you're doing the better lower body work. That last one had a little bit of the bow look again.
Okay, so
number one priority is the lower half of getting the tailbone swirling over to the left leg or the target. And in doing so, the right leg should have this tilted, should have a slant to it. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to break these notes.
Yeah. So that's right, overdoing, right, would look maybe like this. Yeah. Squat swirl. Right? The old speed skater.
Squat swirl.
I feel like I can swirl the hips a lot more when my knees and ankles are bent. If I'm straighter, kind of locks them up actually. Like Rory does a lot of swirl.
So
sit move.
Bend knees and squat.
Yeah. I mean the bending is making the squat, right?
Squat / sit.
Yeah. If you're doing that, the knees are bending and the ankles are flexing and you're just getting lower. Mm-hmm. There you go. Good. Where I swirled so much, where I got that right hips over the other leg, rather than called, when you're like this, I can't get to the inside of the golf ball. It could also be, Dean, if you add a little sitting motion in the swivel. Right? Watch this. So if if I feel like I'm sitting while I swirl, that might give you a feel of the swirl more. You follow me?
Yeah. I'll try that in a second.
Yeah. Actually felt good to me doing it. So the lower center of gravity, we want to feel like when we're coming in that we're forward. If I'm like this, I got to get this out of the way, drop the club, get inside. Too complicated, happens too fast, can't do it every day.
Okay, so I put right hip needs to pull back with butt cheek swirling to the target.
Correct.
Left shoulder with head needs to move back past the left thigh.
Got it.
And right leg straightens before shifting forward.
Yeah, it's straightened on the swirl. Right.
So let me finish that note and then I'll try the sitting.
Okay.
Sitting, I don't know, moving.
It's working for me.